Today's matchup. Bunny. Reynor. Dream. DRG. Round of 20. Group B.
2022 Hot 6 GSL Season 3.
How you doing, chat? You guys okay? You feeling better? It's not over yet, guys. It's not over yet.
Yeah. You know, it's weird to say this is like an upset because it's a foreigner losing in GSL, but it really does feel like an upset with Bunny taking a 2-1 win.
Oh, it was an upset. But you know what else was upset was everybody watching. They all took their plate of spaghetti and threw it on the wall. But listen, guys, I think Reynor's still going to get out. I have hope for him.
Absolutely.
We just got to see what happens in the losers match, I should say. This is Dream versus DRG up next. And honestly, look, first of all, I'll be honest, I didn't give this matchup that much thought coming into here because I felt like Reynor was such a, a big part of the storyline.
It's such a big story.
Dream looks very good, especially lately. DRG, he's always been solid. He hasn't kind of become the DRG of the past where he was like the Zerg, but DRG very good at this matchup. Honestly, I couldn't tell you who I think takes this. I don't know.
I have no idea either. Especially, it depends on kind of what DRG we're going to see today, because this is a guy that sometimes he goes on these hot streaks and it just feels like he destroys everybody, and then sometimes he'll show up and it's just like, oh, you're having a bad day. So ZVT is one of those matchups that can be really punishing if you're not really on the top of your game. Like, you gotta read the situation pretty clearly to know exactly how many drones to make, exactly what unit composition, what timings to stop the Terran push when it eventually comes out.
I also want to remind everybody that was 2 CC first builds. Bunny really played the series very well. But, CC first, you can just go for quick pull and kill them. Anyways, we're going to go into this next best of 3 team Dream versus DRG.
Gonna have a lot of the same maps too. Data C and Inside Out again.
Yeah, Inside and Out Burger. And then Stargazers.
Stargazers set number 3.
Simon Gazers.
You're not going to let that one go, man. I'm embarrassed.
So be embarrassed. Data C's loaded up, guys. Dream versus DRG. Another TVZ to find out who goes up against Bunny in the winners.
Good Game Gaming. Dream. Team NV. DRG.
It's going to be Hatch first again here.
CC first again.
What's going on here? So this is funny. Like,
this is a conspiracy of the Terrans.
You have these periods, like sometimes it's like as short as a week or 3 or 4 days where it's like everybody had the same dirty idea. And we see it more often with like proxies and cheese, but we have it right now with CC first.
Yeah, sometimes we'll see it with like unit compositions and stuff like that too. Like there have been some tournaments where like every Zerg will just go like Roachling. It happened like once, I think. Every Zerg went like Roachling and like ZVT, and then like we never saw it again because it wasn't that good.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, here in day 1 of well, it feels like day 1 for TVZs.
Dude,
here at Group B, like almost every single TVZ has been a CC first build, and this is something that can pack a lot of punch here in the mid game, as we saw in the previous match. I mean, Bunny, we kept seeing those fights, and it kept feeling like Reynor was taking not bad engagements, he was getting good surrounds, he was getting not bad baneling hits, he was resetting tank counts, but like the Terran's economy is just like a little bit more than what you expect it to be in a normal game.
Yeah, you have like just like 10-15% more, and a lot of times that's enough to curb the tide. Now I want to point out, this can't go on for much longer.
Oh, you mean
this
the CC first meta?
It can't, and if it does, it's all the Zerg's fault, because you can just do an attacking build and do this. Now, I think the danger is that the Terrans could pull this out. The Zergs may try to come into the next couple games here tonight with like rushes, and then like the rushes don't.
Yeah.
Then they just go back to normal, and you're like, oh, now I'm behind, but in a different way.
All the Zerg players in Korea are going to like call a secret meeting. They're like, okay, how do we stop?
How do we
this?
stop
What are we gonna
this?
do? And
We're
they're
gonna make our pool before hatch. Is what we're gonna do.
They're gonna go in a round of 10, and like every Terran's opening 3 racks on
That's
one
right.
base.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to see the meta change like this, though.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit different from what we saw in the previous series as well, as Dream is going for a 2-on-1, as opposed to just going straight up into the factory and the fast siege tank production. So maybe we'll see a little bit more bio pressure here, and certainly the Marine count is going to be higher. This is almost feeling more of like what we would see from Bjorn. Like when you watch him play TVZ sometimes, it feels like he has like 2 tanks and like 1,000,000 Marines. He's just like, no, I'm just going to micro. I don't need the splash damage. Like, I'm just going to split everything. So we'll see if Dream decides to go for the same kind of composition, because like this CC first play can really leverage itself into some insane timing pushes as we've seen today.
Well, it makes this whole matchup more about mid game and less about late game,
which I love personally.
I prefer it. I mean, I'm slightly annoyed that TVZ seems to, depending on who's playing, like if it's Maru and Dark and guys like that, that it goes really, really long. I'm not against long games, by the way, everybody, but if a matchup has to go long, I think it becomes less interesting. I like, there's actually this like really interesting study about what makes a game suspenseful, or like a sport that you watch suspenseful. And apparently the thing that makes it the most suspenseful is that if it can end at any moment.
Ooh, yeah, that makes sense.
And if you think about it, it's like, that's why stuff like golf is not considered, that, or baseball, even though, baseball has suspenseful moments, it's like, well, we know it has to go on for a certain length of time, right? And
it's why all those critical moments in sports will happen like in overtime or an extra innings.
Exactly. And it's why, a boxing is an example. At any moment, someone can be knocked out and it just ends. And I think that's what makes StarCraft pretty good, is a lot of times it can just end. I mean, for instance, right now it can't, but you guys get what I'm saying. There's a lot more moments where it's like, well, here comes the big fight. How's this going to go?
Yeah, it feels like a lot of times, especially in a ZVT, when the Terran is doing these kind of tank Marine pushes, it's like, if Zerg gets one bad engagement, they're dead. Like, the Marines are going to stim forward. They're going to kill all of the Queens. The Zerglings will hatch, but they won't have time to morph into Banelings, and it's just GG. And yeah, I never really thought about putting that into words, but that's really true. It's cool, one of the reasons why StarCraft 2 is such a great RTS, because in a lot of other RTSs, you don't have that. It's hard to end the game.
Yeah, it's very true. It can just kind of go on, and then you're watching someone win and watching someone lose. And so this is going to be a slightly amped up double medevac Marine push. Again, all going back to fast CC. I didn't know that's what we were going to be talking about all day today, but that's where we're at now. It's all going to be about CC first, and why, if you get away with it, it's a little bit better than everything else.
I wasn't anticipating that either, and I mean, it will slow down this medevac push. This could have hit maybe 20 or 30 seconds faster if it was like a Rax into CC, but Dream's still able to accomplish his goal with this. This isn't a killing blow. You're not trying to get a lot of drone kills or pick off a lot of Queens, although if you can do that, it's lovely.
Yeah.
This is mostly about setting up in this position to keep the creep spread back, to allow your army to actually move out on the map in the mid game once you get the siege tank count up.
Yeah.
And he's actually going into Liberators already, which is a lot faster than we've seen many Terrans do in TVZ recently. Huh.
Nice snipe on the Queen, does get away. Only loses, I think, 3 Marines there.
3 Marines for some creep spread, forces more Lings out and less drones, gets up a Queen. And
the 4th base is taken, and this is basically where we get to see, the 2 types of openings clash here. Terran wants to end it, and Zerg just wants to drag the game out so that they can overpower Terran later on.
I'm worried that Dongregu might have over-droned just a little bit here, because Dream, this army that he's got, especially here with combat shields, he's delaying upgrades. He's delaying 1-1, for example. He's already going into Liberators. This is going to be a really difficult army to break. I don't think DRG has the tools necessarily in the kit to stop this right now.
Yeah, I think you might be right. He might have overdrone. 69 workers is a lot.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you pointed that out. I would not have noticed that. And he's also trying to set up for a counter, but the attack's already doing so much damage over here.
Yeah.
And we're seeing Banelings get fished into tank range and then back out again.
Queens are going down 2, and with the Liberator count already at 3, and potentially even rising, with no anti-air, this is going to be disastrous.
DRG just like win, Dream just win both these fights? I feel like he does.
Yeah, that was not a good engagement there on the flank. And you see the power of these Liberators too, just kind of mowing down a lot of these units going on the siege tanks. Now he will be able to clean them up, but that was a lot of Ling Bane going down to do it. And what does DRG have to do with 4 Liberators right now? He has nothing. This base is going to go down, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is... I'm kind of stunned. This is actually a much more like one-dimensional victory here. Honestly, DRG overdrone and then lost literally in the attack on the reinforcements and the attack in the push.
You see Dream just kind of leapfrogging with these.
Now, Dream doesn't have a lot. Sometimes we see people that like win this fight and they keep going and they just like don't have anything and it gets killed off.
Yeah, that is a risk overextending here.
Oh, I think his brain's like literally there was a blind spot. Oh my God, run!
Oh, Dream doesn't notice. That could have been really good for him, but instead DRG will be able to clean up the reinforcements. And yeah, there aren't too many Marines here still, so DRG may have a chance. Ling Bailing's coming in now. Yeah, Dream's gonna have to vacate this position, I think.
I love the dropping Marines in and out of the Liberator Zone. It's so funny.
Yeah, Liberator's
I was
so
like
good.
watching that in disbelief. I'm like, well, this can't last forever, right? And then eventually all the Zerg units run away. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how back and forth these fights can go, where it seems like it might be advantageous for the Zerg, but like, these Terran units quite cost effective, and this all goes back to DRG losing a lot of queens earlier in the game too. I think we've had like 4 or 5 go down when he was trying to defend that 4th base, and now Dream retreating. These Banelings off creep, not going to be able to get the best connections. And this is looking really scary right now for DRG. There is a 3rd CC now finally underway here for Dream, but this is still very much feels like an all-in. And I think he might have what it takes to end this one right away.
I think we're almost to the end here. I don't see enough Banes even morphing right now. And with the Liberators and the tanks here, you know, if you don't have enough Banes, you can actually use the Banes to basically soak, use the tanks to soak a Bane shot. All right, very straightforward game. Let's do another CC first.
Yeah, man.
Everybody start your CCs before your barracks says, let's go.
That's what, 4 games and 3 of them have been CC first so far for the Terrans. That's kind of crazy.
If you're watching this on 2 monitors, queue up the ladder, go Terran, go CC first, because your opponent, who's an idiot, is going to go hatchery first, and you're just going to rob him blind of a win.
Yeah, these CC first 2-base pressure builds have been really fantastic, and Dream coming with a little bit of different flavor there. The really fast 2 medevac out of a 2-1-1, and then going into Liberators was great. I mean, those Marines were able to pick off a lot of queens, and then the Liberators come in, and it's like, yeah, you can't really get spore crawlers under that, bro.
All right, inside and out. Let's see if that's what this casting experience is going to be like in game 2. If it just ends like that, we just go in there, we're like, GG, we go right back out.
All right, let's get to it, man. Is Dream going to go CC first?
I hope he does.
I hope
he does, man. All right, guys. Dream versus DRG, game 2. Let's go.
Good Game Gaming. Dream. Team NV. DRG.
Dude, he's going to do it again.
He's gonna
Dude, I can't believe it. We were joking, but...
I was only half joking. I thought we really might see this, man.
I was 100% joking. I'm like, this isn't going to happen. Dude, look at this. Look at this bad person. I can't. Oh, my God. Well, DRG, you left your wallet on the table and you went to the bathroom. Stealing's wrong, but you shouldn't have left it out there. Right?
If DRG is able to identify this quickly enough, he might be able to kind of drone a little bit to kind of offset the economic advantage the Terran's going to have. But yeah, I mean, this pretty good for Dream. We haven't seen CC first lose yet today. It's been a win every single time.
I'm pretty sure that we're seeing the game be broken in real time. Like, it's crazy.
If you're a Zerg watching, get on ladder after this.
Blizzard is running to the servers right now to get this big red lever they're going to pull to shut the servers down so they can fix the game before it's ruined forever.
I don't know, man.
Eventually, we're going to find out it's just only people picking Terran and everybody's going CC first, and it's only draws because there's nothing better in the game.
We're just flying their buildings to the corner. It's like, yeah, we can't beat this.
That's right.
Let's queue up and try to
The
find
only way they
another
can
Zerg.
patch it is they have to have flying buildings that attack to finally close that out.
Got it. Imagine a planetary could just like
That's right.
lift off and just start shooting.
We have to upgrade the barracks so that it gets a sword, and then the buildings just fly together and slash each other's down. It's that or they land and keep making stuff.
Do you remember, I think it was only a couple of days, and I'm not even sure if we had like tournament games.
He went pool? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he went 3 hat. I'm sorry. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you remember, it was like a couple of days, and I want to say a number of years ago, that there was a bug in StarCraft 2 where Terrans could load bunkers into their command centers?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember how funny this was?
That was so funny.
You like load up a bunch of you put a bunch of Marines in bunkers and you lift off your CC and you just load them up and just like fly over like the Zerg base, and it's like, what do you do?
What's happening?
Good times.
I'm trying to think of the funniest bugs ever in the game.
There haven't been a lot of them. This game is well made, man.
StarCraft 1 had some pretty insane, stupid bugs. It was the Flying Templar bug, which was just ridiculous.
Flying Templar bug?
Yeah, you could just, there was like, I don't remember how you do it, but you could just make a Templar fly into their base. So just like fly into your base and storm your workers.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's a fantastic bug.
That was a feature, not a bug, if you really think about it.
It's the way the game always should have been.
That's right.
All right, so Dream going with another 2-on-1, looking quite similar to the last game.
Yeah, DRG is, wait, how pushable is that base down there? I'm still getting the hang of these maps here. I feel like that's not the hardest spot to attack into.
Yeah, I think you can kind of leapfrog if you keep the creep spread under control.
I guess if you go CC first into 2-base push, it doesn't matter necessarily where the 3rd base is, because you can hit the 3rd or the 4th. I guess you just pick whichever one's better.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then also your push tends to hit a little bit later, and that's why we often see, as we've seen before Dream did in the previous game, he moved out with just a small force, like just the medevacs and the Marines, and like you're not going to kill those with Zerg unless the Terran overextends, which is simply not going to happen.
Yeah.
But you can just kind of posture on the map and deny creep spread, and like you hold that position for 1 or 2 minutes, and yeah, you don't get any quote unquote real damage done, but you get map control, and then you set up that as a staging ground for your siege tank push, and suddenly Zerg has this huge headache because it is very difficult to actually get Banelings to connect with bio off creep, even with Baneling speed. Yeah, we're going to be seeing exactly that, I think.
All right, we've got medevacs on the move here. I mean, we are kind of casting the same game over and over again.
It does, yeah. Maybe.
Like we said before, I mean, this is basically a slightly accelerated pressure to try to kill off tumors so that you can set up for the push. And you can see, normally Queens can fight this off pretty easily, but you got to be careful of your angles here because the Marines can come in and clip out a Queen like we see here and there.
Yeah, as long as the Zerglings don't get any surrounds, and that was a nice pickup right there. I mean, we only 1 Marine down so far, and these medevacs will be able to heal him back up. Liking what we're seeing out of Dream so far today. I mean, these CC first builds have been pretty killer.
Yeah.
And we're exactly the same thing. Liberators in production already. Huh.
Well, I get it.
Maybe
I mean, it worked the last time. This is what's funny is, like, we're not seeing what normally makes a series dynamic. They're like, no, I've solved it. Let's do this again.
You remember when we
started? It's like how I play ladder. I'm like, no, that's what I'm going to do every game now. I'm going to make this small adjustment. I'm going to do that until people start stopping me.
It just occurred to me that, like, when we started today, I was talking about how, like, yeah, if the Terrans are going to beat Reynor today, they're going to have to, like, really go deep into their builds, and, like, they're going to have to mix it up and do something different every time. And it's like, nope, we just got to go CC first, dude.
No, CC first. Get 2 to 3 tanks.
Egg on my face with that one, man. These guys have it fixed. They have it solved.
Well, it might be Baneling on this guy's face when this game's done if he doesn't do it right.
Well, DRG has made some adjustments from the previous match. We have to note on that. He's almost 20 workers down than he was previously, and that's not because he's taken damage. That's because he knows that this kind of pushes in the cards, and he does not want to go up to 69 drones again. He wants to sit right here on 50.
No, I mean, DRG is actually adjusting correctly here. I think DRG went a little bit too crazy with the greed here. And he's also got the right number to counterattack her. Good maneuvering by Dream. He backs up. Now, this is the right play, is to come in and actually sandwich them and drive that out. And it looks like he's doing a basically perfect job. He should stim right now. I mean, he can kill off each of these Banes if he's fast enough. Does he not have stim? Am I insane?
They were already stimmed.
No, he had stim a long time ago. I'm
just
insane.
The ones in the front were stimmed. The ones in the back weren't.
Okay.
Yeah, he got a handful of Banes there. But yeah, I love the way that he's splitting his units right now because you saw that DRG. he was thinking, okay, that's a lot of units coming back to kind of deflect this counterattack. Maybe I can dive on the tanks. DRG pokes forward and he sees like Marines perfectly split and 2 siege tanks in a good position. It's like, oh, I actually can. I actually can't stop this. And Dream is just playing the slow push really well. You see he's just controlling this area on the map. And DRG, I feel like if he's not able to clean this up very cost effectively, we might see the same thing that we've seen time and time again today. And here we go, he's coming in with a flank.
That's
some good connections.
To work. Yeah.
50 drones, the magic number it seems is DRG with the first real clean defense that we've seen against these CC first 2-base pushes so far today. And
well, this is going to be an advantage swing back over into to DRG, because now DRG has wiped out the majority of the units that both push and lock in third bases to defend them. So I feel like now DRG might have an opportunity to come in here and clobber the third.
Yeah, DRG.
It's not even here yet, but it will be here eventually.
Right, DRG with some really, really intelligent adjustments, playing on a lower drone count. He was at 50 during that engagement, and a higher queen count. I believe he was up to maybe even 10 up there in the front, in addition to the queens he had injecting back at home to deal with the Liberators. So some fantastic game-to-game adjustments, as right now Dream, the wind is out of his sails, losing more critical units right now, and DRG, although his worker count is really low, definitely feels like he's in control of this game.
Nice sniping here on the Banes. You got to be very careful where you morph these.
Critically, Dream still doesn't have a third CC in production, so I think he's going to double down on this.
Well, I think he doesn't. I think he knows that if he tries to go to a third base, he's going to be barely on 3 bases to Zerg on 5.
That's a good point.
So, you know, he's going to try to come out again. Now, let's keep in mind, like, you know, that Bunny Reynor game, it seemed like Reynor was doing okay, and then the Queens body blocked the Banes and the Siege tanks shot him down. You can just miss control and still be in a similar position, and it was on this bridge, right, that happened?
I believe it was, and this position, again, is looking really good for Dream. I mean, DRG had a great cleanup there earlier, but this looks quite a bit more fortified, especially with these Liberators coming in, and here we go. DRG just sprinting past the bio, diving right on the siege tanks, and he's actually going to be able to clean this up pretty effectively. It seems, at least the front of this army going down.
Yeah, he does keep the back of it around.
But look at the supplies. Dream actually has almost doubled the army supply.
Yeah, that should mostly be in reinforcements here. I think there's only these Banes that we see on camera here that are available. And look, this wraparound, it's supposed to intercept something that already left.
Yeah, this is dangerous.
Now, he may still get a flank in over here. Nice. He closes up the wall. Dream is still playing an excellent game here. And again, I mean, DRG can still lose this if the 2-base push actually works. And he's doing a great job of fishing these Lings and Banes forward, shooting them down, scooping up his own Marines, leapfrogging the Liberators. 1-1 is going to finish here. Attack and armor here. That's important. But again, the siege tanks don't care about the armor for the units they need to snipe.
And it feels like DRG keeps getting these good trades, but looking at the worker counts, he might not have the economy to actually deal with the slow push, as we see him once again coming in, taking down more bio, taking down these siege tanks. But look at the supplies. He's trading his entire army to take down some critical units. Meanwhile, Dream is just continuing to power, and I feel like DRG is about to lose this.
I think you're right, man. Dude, we're going to get tattoos after this. It's going to be of our second command centers, okay? That's what we're doing. We're going to get matching tattoo command centers. Command center tattoos, I can't talk. He's going to come in here. The reinforcements are almost here as well.
Yeah, I see no way that DRG actually holds up on this push.
No,
and it's so counterintuitive because these fights, they continuously seem like they're advantageous for DRG, but the drone count, it's too low.
He won the first fight, but he didn't have the sustain. He also didn't drone up after he won the first fight to get ahead. He kind of really didn't take advantage of that. And that's it, GG.
Wow, 2-0.
GG, or should I say CC? 2 of them? Is that what we were supposed to be saying all along? I'm sorry.
Oh my God,
CC.
man. CC first
CC,
undefeated so far in Group B here at the round of 20 of GSL.
All right. Well, enough of this silly TVZ matchup. Let's go to a Terran versus Terran and let these 2 Zergs duke it out in the losers match.
Man. But these Zergs wish they can go 2CC in their TVZ match after this, man.
Well, they did. It's called the second hatchery, and it's not as good.
Not as good, no. Can't drop down mules with that.
That's right, man. Okay, man. That is that, at least for now, guys. Short break, we come back, mirror matchup, 2 of them in a row, Dream versus Bunny. We'll go to that one next. Stay tuned.